Hi everyone, and it's Judah Studios here, and welcome to the channel where we talk about superhero lore and comic books of the African diaspora. So, without further ado, we're gonna do another origin story of a certain character of our superhero jester of genre, and like I said, it's gonna be a fast and quick video, so we're gonna go through this smoothly as possible. So yeah, so today we are going to talk about League of Heroes. Can't forget about that. Ampu. So this is him in all of his glory. Like I said, we're not like gonna go like with the whole shuddering and mumbling kind of session. We're just gonna go straight to it. So as you can tell, if none of you don't realize, is that Ampu is the deity of either the moon or he like is a messenger or someone that guides souls and spirits to the underworld. So he does something like that, kind of like Book of the Dead. And also, I bet most of you are familiar. If you're like doing like Western studies, you would realize that Ampu is the Kemetic name that was translated by European settlers or colonizers or whatever you actually want to call them at this point. But yeah, he's known as Anubis. I bet most of you know who Anubis is. This is basically him. This is his actual name before they came. You know, his African name and his Kemetic name. So yeah, that's about it. So yeah, that's about him. So yeah, that was just a little quick sum of how his name and origin and stuff, and yeah, what he does. So yeah, okay. So let's get started with this. Anpu is the cousin of Heru. You know, Heru is the one that you just saw a couple like a minute ago or seconds ago in this video. So yeah, he's the cousin of Heru and he's the son of Seth. And if you don't know, Heru's father, who is Asar, okay, that's right. Um, Asar is like, and Seth are brothers, they're siblings, they're related to each other. And you know, they went with their other sisters and then they procreate and mated an intercourse to have each of these two. So, because like real daisy, I don't know how it went like into that situation starts of reproduction of these certain two, but that's how it is. Like, I mean, that's how I read it before. So yeah. So basically, Ampu now, he is quite a short figure. We're gonna go a little trivia. He's quite shorter than Heru. He is younger. He is younger than Heru as well, but only by like a couple years. Even though himself, Ampu is like millions of years old. Like he can be like hundreds of millions of years old. So don't get it twisted. But like if natural age, like they were like our age, like he would be around like 2 or 4 years younger. Even though Ampu would be considered more serious and the more mature one, because even with Harry sometimes he can be he can be like the person that is someone you want to be around with, like a humble nature, but he can joke around and he cannot take stuff seriously when stuff is ready. He'll keep that person that's at the bright side of life. He's literally, like I said, the bipolar 180-degree opposite of him, because remember, Heru, even though he's the deity of like the sky and kings and stuff, he also has a relation with the sun and the moon. And remember, he has the sun. With Ampu, he just has the moon. So he's like a sun deity. He's a moon entity, basically. So yeah, there's that. So without further ado, um, of course, Ampu, as you can tell, he is quite really dark. Like not like dark skin. He makes dark skins look light skin, basically, because that's how dark he is. He's like one of those African people that never had like either European or albino influences in his DNA, because remember, he's really old. He was back in the days when mixing with different species or races wasn't a thing, in it. So he's like one of the East Africans, or maybe people in the center of Africa, like the West. But you know, they say they're so dark, right? When you shine a light on them, it comes out blue. So he's kind of that kind of dark skin, jet, ultra dark skin. It's like literally black like paper, like the color black, literally. If you want a black person, then this is him. No, not because of the armor. His skin itself. This is just like his costume and his thing. So yeah. So anyways, also Ampu is known for like if you look on his like mainstream side, like on Wikipedia and other website, he does have like a dark kind of colorization to him. So that's why I gave him this look. I thought it looks really cool to match his personality and his characteristics. So yeah, and let's go into his childhood. So yeah, okay, we know that he is the son of Seth, and through his upbringing, he had the average life. And what I mean by average, back then, supernatural metaphysics were the thing. So they were like, like sci-fi fantasy from like even those millions, like hundreds of thousands, tens of years ago. That there was those stuff were like the norm back then. But with him, there will still be kings, politicians that will have like rules in place in different positions in life and to govern society. With him, like because of his father, of the things he does, and he was an outcast, he wasn't he wasn't like a part of that life, so he didn't really know about that his true heritage. His father was in hiding, and because of bad things. And there was some people can sense a lot of like negative activity, like negative energy from certain individuals. So yeah, that was like it as well. So yeah, what else? Yeah, Ampu when he was growing up, like his own father was jealous of him because if you notice with like the documents of like Seth, when I did like my alternative with him in history, he was like really really light skinned. He was albino. He was really bleached out, So this was like very white. He was quite jealous because he wasn't like the rest of society. He was like outcast. He didn't really have any melanin to like no melanin at all. And then when he had a son, like when he gave birth to his son, well, it's not like that, but I know what I meant. But anyways, like when he had his son, he was like, how did he end up having melanin and not look like me? So jealousy kind of raged around, and he wasn't treated the same. Like he would like be bullied and he would be tortured by his own father. He would like say he's ugly and say that he isn't nothing by his own father. So it didn't really had the best relationship. Cause like I said, they're like the 180 slash degree bipolar of each other. Not the skin wise, just personality. And I think that's when Ampu growing up is why he became so serious and why he's the way he is. And don't worry, his mother was around, but his mother was also abused and domestically hurt as well. So she didn't really couldn't do anything either. So basically, kind of like a quote unquote definition of a dysfunctional household. I think they couldn't do really nothing about it. So of course, he is really powerful. He is really like ability-ish when it per se, because his certain powers deal with like also kind of lots of elemental energies and kind of like dark forces around him, and he does have manipulation of like certain moon auras, and he got like chi like energy that goes through the chakra levels. So he is really powerful in his own right. Not like near Heru level, especially with a weapon like a sword, but his one it does bestow him that to make him more powerful than before. However, he is still strong either way. He's just not really Heru level strong, but he still can like knock out a lot of people out, a lot of them. So yeah, there's that as well. So yeah, so of course with Ampu, growing up, like he did go on adventures with the early years before they were the old millions or thousands of years old. They were like average age like you and me, and so like they were just like young adults, not really teenagers. I think they were teenagers or just they had that stage with each other, but they were young adults when the whole storyline when we first saw him because he first appeared in Heru, so that's where we got to know him first. And with the young prince that was in there as well. So they went on adventures, and they beat his father. Everyone was happy, and then really is they went on their own adventures, doing their things, and then he was doing his own things as well. He's got things as well. Harry was doing his own things, and yeah, they were like the best ever since. And they went through many events with each other because, like I said, there was a great glitch. I'll get into that in the next video. It's really complicated, and then they'll do a lot of things that together. So they were really like a complete lifestyle, and yeah, it was really interesting things they did with each other. Like the best of friends, like the best brothers. So yeah, in the modern age now, in this times, Ampu was like in a day's life he was looking for Haru because Haru was missing for some time because he was doing her own thing, looking for someone else that was missing. So No, Ampu was like, nah, I just like search for my cousin. Like he's leave the unbalance of who could rule the planet and kingdom where they're from. So everyone's like, okay, this is not gonna work. And as they were as they were doing their own thing, like they went on adventures. He's obviously like also another Omedigan warrior as well, because Omedigan warriors basically like a group of superheroes together. So there's that too. And yeah, he does have he does go with a lot of friends and has family by his side. But he's someone that normally works by himself. He is literally a lone wolf, or he's kind of like a wolf because he's part of the dog family with his head. But yeah, he's kind of like that, and he is serious. He's a person that does good at strategies. He's a good protector at all things that cost. He does protect stuff like when it goes wrong, and he does solve like a lot of questions. And he's really highly intellect, like the rest. So that's basically another quick summary of another character called Ampu. So thanks everyone for this. And yeah, Ampu's really an interesting character. I would love to like get into him and do like his own comic book series. Because like I said, the amount of stuff each of these characters do, they can't really just be like just in one period, one period's comic, not do their own thing. That wouldn't be really fair in it. So that would not be really nice. So yeah, it wouldn't be fair. Like him, like someone who's interesting and he doesn't really have his own kind of shine. You know what I mean? So I'll definitely will check into that, and we'll try to fit in how he can have his one and put it pair with the other comic books I'm releasing. So yeah, um, thanks again everyone. This was Judah Studios. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and tell me what you think. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. And check out my music channel where I produce and do DJ. And check out my gaming channel where I play PC and consoles. So that'll be really nice. And yeah, everyone, we're going to look at him one more time again, like I normally do. And yeah, so tell me which character I should do next, and I will do it for you. And yes, this was a quick thing. Most of these things won't give them justice in depth of who they are. However, it's still going to be good and worth it, and that we still know who they are and put them on a planet to be recognized. Because they will be big. They will have their shine one day. So yeah, thank you everyone again. Should definitely buy my comics and my merchandise, and tell what you think in comments, and tell who I want to do next, and check out the next thing. But further ado, see you later, and yeah, bye bye.